Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood. 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 She slit a sheet she slits. Upon the slitted sheet she sits. She slit a sheet she slits. Upon the slitted sheet she sits. Whether the weather be hot or whether the weather be cold, be together whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Whether the weather be hot or whether the weather be cold, be together whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. I'm happy to say that today, like every day, was another amazing day. Today was especially full of the good, happy sounds. I heard a lot of the good, happy sounds and the vibrations that I really like. And it was filled with the little snacks that they give me too. Whenever they make the good, happy sounds, I often get the good snacks with it too. I got to go outside a lot too. It's so beautiful outside nowadays. I remember when I was in the silver place, the outside felt a lot different. The outside in the silver place was very cold. And I remember that it wasn't that bright color that's usually outside now, but it was more of that darker color, the brownish color, kind of like the color of my poop. But now the color is very bright. And with the bright color comes a great feeling on my fur and my skin. When the light hits me during these times, it feels much nicer. But when I was in the silver place and I was outside, it didn't feel so good. The light was there, but it didn't have the same feeling. It's kind of like when I hear the happy word, but I don't hear the happy sound. It's not the same thing. See, I can tell the difference between the happy word and the happy sound. I feel it. I do. I know. I know when the big one or the small one, or as I like to say, the big version of the weak one, makes the happy sound and says the happy word. And I can tell when they mean it. I think that's a gift that I have that separates me out from most of, other people like myself. It's because other people like myself, I think they just listen to the happy word. And they think that that's enough. Sometimes I feel like when I talk, I lose my head. That feels better. I feel like that's what separates me out between other people like myself, is that I know the difference between the happy sound and the happy word. I feel like I'm very observant too. When I was in the silver place, it gave me a lot of time to be observant. There's not really much else to do other than to be observant. I really like that word, by the way. Happy sound. And I have observed a lot since being in the silver place, and now that I am no longer in the silver place, I feel like I very much understand I get distracted because sometimes I think I hear something. When I was in the silver place, I had lots of times to lay on the ground. It was very hard to lay on the ground and be comfortable in the silver place because, unlike the place that I'm in now, there was nothing soft. Everything hurt. It was not like outside, where the pokey things outside I find to be very comfortable. They scratch me, and they feel very nice on my fur. But in the silver place, it's hard on the ground, and it's very cold. And I tried sitting in many different ways. I tried sitting like this, and I would do this for a while, but then it would just kind of hurt. And I do not like to feel hurt. So I had to try to find other things that made me feel comfortable. So I would try this. This actually worked a lot better than most things did, but after a while I kind of got sick of it as well, because I found it very boring to be looking up at the ceiling. The ceiling was not a silver color like the rest of everything around here, but it was cold. It was nothing. At least when I was looking at the silver, I could see myself, and I could think a lot about myself, and understand myself. And when I was looking at the silver, at the very least, I could count as many dots as there were on me, which gave me something to do, to stimulate my mind. You see, in the silver place, I feel like a lot of the other ones, see, they're not like me, but a lot of the other ones, I feel like they lost themselves in the silver place. They spent too much time looking at the ceiling. And when they did that, they began to forget. They became less observant.
And I think they forgot what the happy feeling is. And I think they forgot what the happy sound is and what the happy word is. But I never forgot. No, I never forgot. I thought about it a lot. But see, I don't remember when I knew about the happy sounds and the happy words. It was only after leaving the silver place that I began to realize that the happy sounds and the happy words were familiar to me, and that I had known them before, and that I had felt them before. They were sort of like smelling a familiar smell, a smell that you know you've smelled before, and it's cataloged in your brain. And it is cataloged in my brain, the happy sound and the happy words, but I can't remember where it is in my brain. I don't remember how we got to talking about the silver place. I don't want to talk about the silver place. I had a wonderful day today. Today was a day where we got to go outside. And it felt good on my skin to be outside, and the soft things on the ground felt good on my skin. And I got to meet others that are not like me, but are sort of like me. But I got to spend lots of times with the weaker version of the big one. I really like the weaker version of the big one. She's always very happy. She's always making happy sounds. And even when she's not making very happy sounds, well, I just let her make them. And I do my own thing. But sometimes, if I feel like I can do something to change it, I find that sometimes when she's making the unhappy sounds, if I go up to her, the little version of the big one, if I go up to her, sometimes she'll stop making the sad sounds, which is very refreshing because I do not like to hear the sad sounds. I prefer to hear the happy sounds. I would prefer that everyone makes happy sounds more often. In fact, I would prefer if people made more happy sounds and said more happy words. And I especially like it when you say happy sounds and happy words and they send them towards me, which is what today was like at the place that they call. I think I actually know what it's called now. See, they keep saying it every time. I think it's called walk. We go to the place called walk. That's what we do. Because every time they say walk, we end up going to that place, that same place that I'm talking about now, where everything is the soft and everything is the brighter color, and the sun feels good on my skin and my fur. And did you hear that? I could hear everything. When I was in the silver place, I had plenty of time to become observant, like I said before. It was very dangerous in the silver place. And if you did not make happy or good sounds, then the people would come. The people would come. And you did not want the people to come. In the dull color, the people in the dull color would come. And they would take you out. They would take you out of the silver box. And then you would not come back to the silver box. And I figured that out very quickly. See, I like to think of myself as being very observant. And I knew that all that I had to do was allow myself to see, it was sort of like the silver box was a thing. A silver box was a place for me. A silver box is sort of like a round thing. A silver box is sort of like a round thing. A round thing. It's sort of like the thing that the big version of the little one. The big version of the little one. There's this box in another place in the house. There's a box that's inside of this other place in the house, and it's the floor is what it's called. And the floor it's not like the silver place floor, but it's not like the green place floor. And here, in this place, there's a box. And inside of the box, there's a thing. And when they put their paws on the thing, and they do the pull thing, where they pull the action, and then they pull out this little thing from within the box, and then they set it here, and then the big version of the little one opens it, and there's so much pulling and opening, and they open it, and then they pull out a thing. And it's a round thing. It's like my favorite thing. Like my favorite thing. The thing that I like to. The little version of the big one throws a thing, and I go to get the thing, and I bring back the thing. And it really makes me upset when they take the thing that they throw for me to get. Takes the thing out, and the thing is it looks different. And it's not as big as the thing that I like that they throw. And the big version of the little one break thing, puts it into her pen. A little circle thing. I hear this word often, pen. I assume pen. Puts it in. But I watched something. I did. As I told you before, I'm very observant, and I watched something. I know what that thing is. Inside the thing in the box, inside the box, they go in pan. I know that thing. I saw it on the box. There's another box. Sometimes I feel like it's very hard to explain myself and to talk about the things that I see around me. It gives me big frustration, and sometimes it makes me want to make the unhappy sound. But I won't make the unhappy sound. I know that I'm safe now, and I don't have to worry about the dull gray ones coming to get me. But still, I can't help the frustration I feel when I see something and I understand something, but I don't know how to say it. The other box. Oftentimes, as I mentioned before, in the silver place, it was very hard to sit. Now, it is not so hard to sit on things because things are softer now. It's not quite like the same feeling as the bright outside place, especially when the color is different from the brown and different than when the sun is on my fur and my skin, which I quite like. But now, inside is cool, and inside, the ground is soft. Unless you're in the other place where there's the box, where you pull out the box, and there's a thing in the box that looks like the other thing that I like, that they throw for me, that I then retrieve, that they then try to take from me. But now there's another box. We'll call it something different. There is the vibrant. There's the vibrant. In the room where the ground is soft, there is the vibrant. And the vibrant showed me something. I was sitting down and I was watching the vibrant. I was watching it with the little one, who's a small version of the big one. The weaker version of the big one, rather. And oftentimes we will do this thing together. It's sort of a game where I will sit and she will sit, and then we will watch the vibrant thing. And I remember the vibrant thing showed the little box that had the many little balls that then go into pan. But that showed me that the little thing that goes into the pan, that is not all it does. It is interesting to me that the little thing inside of the box, if you do not put in pan, eventually another little thing comes out of the little ball. Isn't that amazing? I don't know what it is. But I feel like when I was in the silver place, I feel like I was the little ball. And while I was in the little ball, I did a lot of thinking. And eventually, when I cracked it open, and I was not cracked open, that is how I am now. I feel like I learned a lot while I was in there, and I feel like I have grown a lot. I did feel myself change in size. I did notice things change about me. I feel like I grew at least 2 more spots in the time that I was there. And I don't know how long I was there for. I don't know how long I've been here for. But I've been here long enough to see the weaker version of the big one grow into herself some more, which has been really nice to see. See, when I first met her, there was a lot more of the unhappy sounds. And we would sit here by the Bible box, and sometimes she would just start making the unpleasant, the kind of hi, sounds. And I did not like those sounds very much, but I did put up with it because, see, I knew that I had to. See, I didn't want to make an unhappy sound myself, because if I make an unhappy sound, and the weaker version of the big one makes the unhappy sound, then they may take me back to the silver place, and I don't want to go back to the silver place. I don't want to go back to the silver place. I don't want to go back to the silver place. I don't want to go back to the silver place. But the weaker version of the big one is a lot better now. She often makes more happy sounds than she does make sad sounds, or the sounds, which is great. I suppose Today was a very tiring day. It was a day where I heard the name sound a lot. The name sound, I call it. Because I've heard that word before, that word name. I hear them say it a lot. And oftentimes when I hear that word, that name word, I hear them make a sound afterwards too. And typically, when I respond to that sound, and I go to them, or I turn my tail around, or I shake my head, or I get excited, they respond very well, they make the happy sound, so of course I feel like I'm onto something with that. But today was a very tiring day. Lots of name sound, lots and lots of name sound, and we went outside. We were outside for a long time today, and we did not go to walk like we did before, we've done in the past. No, we went somewhere else. They did still say the same word, though. They said walk, so I thought we were going to walk, but then we did not go to walk. We went somewhere else. And I was fine with that. But after a while, I got very tired, because the weaker version of the big one, she really wanted to do the fetch game, the game where they throw the ball and I go and grab it, and then they try to take it away from me after I bring it back to them, which I find very frustrating. We did that for a long time. And we were out of the sight of the house much longer than I thought we would be, much longer than we ever really have been. And I wonder if it's because there's a big version of the little one, and then there's the weaker version of the big one, and I refer to that as she. But then there is a he, too. He is there sometimes, and he's not there all the time, but he's like a big version. He's a big version of something else, and I don't know what he is. But he's been around, and he's been around more, and I've seen him a couple of times, and I don't know what to think of him. I'm very observant, but I don't know what to think of him. It's kind of like looking at the thing in the bowl that I drink, the water. I can't really see. That's what he looks like. And I find that when he is around more, there are less happy sounds. And I find there are less happy words. And as I've mentioned before, it's very important to me that there's a happy sound and a happy word. Because if you have the happy word but not the happy sound, then something isn't right. And I find that when he's around, I don't hear a lot of... No, I do. I hear a lot of happy word, but I don't hear a lot of happy sound. I don't. And I think that is strange. Why is it that when he's here, there is happy word, but no happy sound? And why is it that I have never heard him say my favorite happy word with the favorite happy sound? This is another word that means a lot to me, and I don't like to take it lightly, and I don't like to evoke its name, because I feel like it will lose its value if I speak about it too much. I'd much rather hear it than speak about it myself. But since we're here, and I want you to understand me, because I think it's important that we understand each other, because I think it is important that we understand each other, that I think I have to tell you that my favorite happy word, and I don't know how to make a happy sound, but my favorite happy word is good boy. But like I said, it doesn't sound like that. Normally it has a happy sound, but I don't know how to do the happy sound, so I will say it one more time, just for good measure. Good boy. Good boy. Enough! I must stop now before it loses its meaning. Yes, that is a good word. Yes, that is a good word. But I don't hear it when he is around. When he is here, I don't hear the good sound, and I don't hear the good word. Except when I'm with the weaker version of the big one, when we're in her room, when we go up the little thingies, and we go up into her space. Her space, which looks very different from many spaces, and I like the look of it, and I find it very comforting in there. There's lots of good smells. The smell's different than everything else in the house. I sometimes find it to be very overwhelming. But when we're in there and when she's making the sad sounds, and I find that oftentimes when he's around, she makes more sad sounds and she makes the sound, I go up there with her, the weaker version of the big one. I go up there with her to her room. And when I just lay with her, or just sniff around and hang out, I like that word too, hang out, I find that she will say the good word. She'll say the good sounds too. She'll make the good sounds. It comes after she's done making the sound. It's interesting to me that when he's not there, the weaker version of the big one, she makes the sound. But also when he's not there, she makes the good sound, and she does say the good word. It perplexes me. I don't understand it. I'm not upset that I don't understand it. I will come to understand it. I'm very observant, as you already know. I had lots of times to be observant while I was in the silver place. And I will come to understand it. I will understand why, when he is there, the big version of the little one and the weaker version of the big one, who is the little version of the big one, just to be clear, I will come to understand why when he is here, they do not make the good sound, and they do not say the good word, and she makes the sound. I will come to understand it. I'm determined. But I will come to understand it some other time. I think today I will not lay in front of the vibrant place, the vibrant box. I don't think I will lay in front of there. Sometimes when I lay in front of there, I have a hard time closing my eyes. And when he is here, he's usually in that same place where the vibrant box is, and he is usually sitting on the thing that I am not allowed to sit on. That when I do jump on, I hear the bad sound. And it doesn't make any sense, because I'm allowed to sit on and lay on everything else, and it's within my capacity to jump on it. I'm allowed to jump on it, no, and when I jump on it, I hear the bad sound, even from the weaker version of the big one, and the big version of the weaker one. They give me the bad sound when I jump on the thing that he sits on. But he makes everyone make the no good sound, and he makes everyone make the no good sound and say the no good word. But he can sit on things that I'm not allowed to sit on. I make people make good sound. I make people make good sounds and say good word. I should be allowed to sit on the thing that I am not allowed to sit on, the thing that he is allowed to sit on. Today I will not sit in the room with the vibrant box, because the TV will keep me awake, and his presence of him sitting on the thing I'm not allowed to sit on will merely make me more frustrated, and I need to close my eyes because today was an amazing day and I am very tired. I'm very tired. I am very tired. I'm very tired. today is not a good day. Something has happened. I don't know what it was. But she, both of them, both of the she's, the weaker version of the big one, and the big version of the weaker one, sometimes who I call the big version of the little one. They are not here. And I don't know why they are not here. And sometimes they aren't here. And that would happen sometimes. They're just not here. But they would come back. I would have no worries. Oftentimes I could tell. See, I would go to the thing that allows the light to come in. I would go to the thing and I would watch on the ground because I could tell from the way that the dark moves and from the light, I could keep track of when they would be coming back. And they would come back around this time. Well, this time has come a few times now. And they have not come back. And I don't know how I missed it. I don't know how I missed it. But something did happen, and fiddlesticks. Something did happen, and I think maybe I messed up. I think maybe I heard lots of the bad sound. I heard so much of the bad sound. Oh God, I heard so much of the bad sound. Sometimes, when the light's gone and it's only the dark, sometimes I will go outside. See, there's this little portal that they have for me that allows me to go from the inside to the outside. And at night I like to go through the portal and I like to go outside where it's cool and there's the blippy noises, the noises. And I like to go out there and I love to smell. I love to smell when the darkness comes. And I was outside. I just can't help it. I needed to be out there. Because there's something that I like to do out in the darkness that they get upset with me if I do it during the light. They see me do it. I can only do it during the dark, you see. And so I go outside. Like I always do when I know exactly what I need to do and I'm looking for it. See, during the light when I go outside, I do the thing that makes them do the good noise and the good sound, where I poop. And that makes them say the good noise and the good sound. But see, one time after I did that, I went to go recycle and consume. And they made the bad sound. They made the angry sounds. I did not understand why. Why am I not allowed to consume and recycle the thing that I made? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. And so, I did not. For a long time, I did not. But then the hunger came. The hunger came and I needed it. I needed the recycle. I needed to eat it. I needed to eat the poop. And so when the darkness comes, I go out. When the darkness comes, I go out. So I did. Oh, I did. Oh, I was out there. I was hunting for it. Oh, I was hunting for it. I heard inside. I could hear inside the bad sound. Lots and lots of the bad sound. And I know that when I hear the bad sound, I hear the sound, and I go in there. And I go in there and make it better. And then they make good sound and make happy sound. And a good noise and a happy word, the good word. But I couldn't stop myself. I had to consume. I was so hungry. And then, when I came back full, there was no good sound and there and they were gone. She was gone. The big version of the weaker one and the weak version of the big one, they were gone. He was there. He was there, sitting with vibrant boxes on that thing that I'm not allowed to sit on, and I came to him. I came to him, and I looked at him, and I thought, you need to tell me where they are right now. That's what I thought. And I looked at him, and I looked at him, and I looked at him. And then he did the thing that I've never felt before, the thing that I've seen done to others in the silver box, but has never been done to me. He took the paw, and he put it on my head, but he put it on my head very hard. And at first I was shocked. And when I looked away, I turned back up to him. Now I looked at him, wanting to know, why did you put your paw on my head so hard? And then he did it again. And then he said, my least favorite word of all time. And I understood it immediately. Bad dog. He is not here. So I take this time now to sit on the thing that I am not allowed to sit on. I understand his pattern now, and I know when he is coming. I can hear the sound that he makes when he's coming. And at that time I will get off the thing I'm not allowed to sit on. But when he is gone, and I am allowed to sit, it gives me plenty of time. And in this time I've come to understand that she is not coming back. Not the weak version of the big one, or the big version of the weak one. She is not coming back. It is just me now, with him, who does not make the good sound, who does not say the good word. We do not go to walk. I do not get the treat. I just hear the bad sound, and I hear the bad word. If I do anything. So I spend most of my time doing nothing. But I've had a lot of time to think in my time doing nothing. See, I'm never not thinking. I'm always thinking. I'm always thinking. I'm very observant. And it has become very clear to me why the weaker version of the big one, when he was around, she would not say the good word, make the good sound. And why when she would go to her room and make that ah sound, and when I went there, make the happy sound. It is because, well, simply put, he is bad. He is a bad boy. He is a bad boy. And his attempt to call me a bad boy is merely a reflection of his own behavior. See, he is a bad boy. I don't think he knows that because he's not nearly as observant as me, but I know that. And if he would ask me what I thought about him, I would tell him plain as day, he is not interested. He is more interested in making the bad sound and looking at the Bible box. And frankly, I don't think he thinks at all. I don't think he's observant about anything. Which got me to thinking that he isn't very observant. And well, I think about how clumsy he is. See, when he puts the paw on my head hard, makes me realize how weak he really is. He cannot control himself, I don't think. I see him the way that he stumbles around the house and sometimes bumps into things. And he drinks so much water out of his the little thing that he holds and drinks his water. And he's a stumbly mess. Oh, he is a stumbly mess when he drinks his water. I see him as he stumbles around the house, he bumps into things, and he knocks things over. He's not very coordinated. No, he's not. He isn't very coordinated at all. It got me to thinking about my time in the pound. See, in the pound, if you are clumsy and stumbling, if you cannot control yourself, if you are weak, you did not make it out. I don't think he would make it out. No, he wouldn't make it out. I made it out. He couldn't last a day there. No, he couldn't last a day, but I can. Therefore, I am stronger than him. Therefore, I am stronger than him. It got me thinking. I remember one time when I was with the weak version of the big one. This was a happy day, the day that this happened. It became a sad day very quickly, though. As we were walking up the little things to go up to the room where she resides, we were going up the little thing, and I was up ahead of her, the weaker version of the big one. I was up ahead of her, and I heard the sound, the sound. And when I turned my head around, I saw that the weaker version of the little one was on her back, some ways down from where we just were. And she was making the sound, and even my presence, my presence of being there did not soothe the sound, which means I think it was something more than just the sad. I think that it was the hurt sound. And I'm familiar with the hurt sound because it would happen often in the pound, and oftentimes I would hear the hurt sound, I would hear the hurt sound, and then the other making the hurt sound would stop. And they would stop moving. And then the dull gray would come, and take them away. I think I know what happens to them. Of course, I did not want this to happen to the little one. So as she was making the hurt sound, he came, trying to touch her, and as he touched her, she made more of the hurt sound, to which I growled at him, to which then he put the paw heavy on my head, as he does, as he is wont to do. And I was just trying to help the little one because I did not want the little one to be taken away by the gray people. But it got me to thinking that moment, and she was fine. She was not taken away by the gray people. But it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking that in the morning, when he wakes up, oftentimes I wait for him at the bottom of the stairs for him to unlock the portal and let me out. And he takes a long time as he grips onto the wood thing. He stumbles down the stairs. And I've seen him before make a trip or miss a step and catch himself on the wood. Oftentimes he very much struggles after he drinks a lot of his water in the can, in the little white thing. I think tomorrow I will not wait at the bottom of the stairs for him. Tomorrow I will wait at the top of the stairs. Surely I am big enough. I have felt myself run before. And if I run at him at the top of the stairs, maybe he will make the hurt sound. And if he makes the hurt sound and continues to make it, eventually he'll stop. And then the gray people will come and take him away. And then I won't have to hear the bad sound. I won't have to hear the bad word. And there will be no more bad boy. And then she will come back. The little version of the big one and the big version of the little one. They will come back because he will be gone. It took a while, but he has finally stopped making the hurt sound. I've been hungry for a while now, and I have been needing to go outside to allow myself release. But I did want to savor every moment of this. As I expected, he awoke, I heard the door open, and I just waited by the stairs. He looked at me, made no acknowledgement. At that time I thought he was going to go straight for the stairs, but then he didn't. Instead he went to the little other room where they make sound. It sounds sort of like the sound that I hear in the room with the bugs when they let the water out. I heard that sound, and he went into that room. But I was patient. I am very patient. I am very patient. Very patient. And I waited. And I just waited. And when he came back out, he stopped and he looked at me. We made eye contact with each other, a level of understanding, as if to say, good morning to you, to which he said, whatever. Well, he did eventually make his way to the stairs. I think he could tell there was a level of uneasiness. I couldn't really play it cool. I had to have a full focus. All of the weight and the power of my back legs, ready to go and push in the space between his legs, where there's the weakness that I've seen, the weakness where you hit there. There's a weakness that happens, and then there can be a tumble, a fall, a stumble. And I knew if I hit the weakness, that he would fall, and he would hurt. But I had to be very careful. See, once the hand goes on the wood, then the weakness can't be stopped. Well, the weakness can be stopped. So I had to make sure that he did not touch the wood, or else my plan would fail, and then maybe it would be me who would be hurt. So, as he stumbled over for the wood, as he normally does, to go to the stairs, to go downstairs, to unlock the portal for me, I did something I very seldom do. In fact, I've never done it before. I made my own sound. I did. I made my own bad sound. And I let it come out from deep within me. Right as he was going to the wood, I let out the big, bad sound. And in his shock, his hand moved from the wood, right as I was running straight into the weak spot on the back of the head. There was a lot of the ooh sound. Ooh, 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 ooh. As you can tell, the stairs are very long. And when he reached the bottom, then the water came out of him. It's different than the water that I drink. It's different from the water that he drinks, but the water came out of him, and he was making the hurt sound, and I knew I had done my job. And he stood there making the hurt sound for a long time. I'm looking at him now. I wonder what he's thinking. Well, surely the gray man will be here at any moment to take care of him. And I'm sure the gray man will do me the favor of letting her, the weak version of the big one, and the big version of the weak one, they will let them know that he is gone, the bad boy is gone, and that we can go back to doing what we were doing before, which was going to walk and having treats, and hearing a good sound and a good word. And perhaps they will let me eat my poop.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I hope I can save this after. Add a moderator. Fork's amazing day. Oh man, I really hope this lets me save.